it's Mrs. B again. Um, this is day 29 of my 30-day carnivore challenge. I went to um, the doctor yesterday and had the steroid injection in my back. We were out of town. We finally ate after getting out of the doctor's appointment. I did fairly well, I thought. I mean, I ate. Okay, we went to the name of the place. We went to Cheddar's, and we had. I had two beef patties with cheese and bacon, and oh my gosh, they did an awesome job. Um, I was afraid one would not fill me up since I only eat every 23 hours, and this ended up being, my goodness, I think there was 26 hours in between, plus, what would it be? I don't know, about 14 hours without any water. I was thirsty, I was dehydrated, and I was ready. I was hungry. I was ready to eat. And I ate every bit of it, and it was a lot, and I was stuffed, just stuffed. And I drank water. They offered me orange juice and apple juice after the procedure, and I turned that down and asked for water. I was just so thirsty, and I had a headache before when they took me in for the procedure. I had a headache, and they said, well, I had sedation, and I don't know why, but I thought they were going to completely put me out, but they don't. They just gave me IV sedatives, and boy, was I glad they did. And but that kind of helped the headache. And then she told me that the headache was probably because I was so dehydrated. Well, I did great. I mean, like I said, it did hurt, but I'm just thankful I did the sedation. And then we went to eat. Walking was still similar, and I think they said it would take about a week. I'm not sure. But this morning I'm walking good. My back doesn't hurt. To be honest, I only have one pain in my my left hip, and it could be more from the injection. I'm not sure, but my back is good, and my legs are not hurting this morning like they normally do. So at least for day one of the steroid injection, I'm okay. But I've really been hearing that the injections, that steroids eat away at your bone, and so I'm really not liking that. Maybe, I just had a steroid injection for the spider bites, and now got a different type of. Well, I don't know if there was a difference in the type of steroid, but I got a steroid injection for the back pain in my spine, for the spinal stenosis. And I know I've had steroids before. Well, so I'm just not real crazy over the idea of the bone deterioration. So I'm going to do some more research on that and everything else, of course. I'm really trying. And I'm not just going by YouTube. I go by peer-reviewed studies. If at all possible, when they give you a link or you find someone that is anti-carnivore or whatever, that I decide to check into. I do not just look at YouTube videos and things like that. I do my research the best I can. I don't go to libraries and look up articles like that. I live in a very small town. I may have access to that, but the internet is just so handy. However, I do believe there's a lot of things that are misleading. So that's why I try to check as many sources, original sources, as I can, and don't just go by everybody's opinion. There's a lot of people who have been doing carnivore for many years, and they have had great results. And I tend to have a little faith in people who have done it for many years. However, I still want to know if there's been any studies on it. However, we also know a lot of studies are financed by pharmaceuticals or others that have a bias. And I do believe that if there is a bias, a lot of the studies too are biased. So in this day and age, you just don't know. You just don't know about a lot of things. Therefore, I do try to do my research. Okay, back to the carnivore. Guys, I am not a doctor. I am not recommending this as a doctor. I am recommending it as a friend, as someone who is currently going through this. I feel so much better. Every day I tell you how much better I feel. You have seen me from before. If you've watched any of the Mrs. B and Auntie videos, you will have seen us talk about our health problems. And you have seen us just interacting. We're silly. Auntie, I always figure that I'm the straight man and she's the comedian. I don't know. I do some pretty silly things that I think are just silly, where she can actually be a comedian. I mean, she's so funny. If you sit around and talk to her and her husband about some of the stories that of their life events, she is hilarious. But I'm going to look. What was I going to look? See, I don't remember what I was going to look at. I was going to look at something. Anyway, if you look at some of those videos, I think you will have seen me before. And then you've seen me decide from day one to do this carnivore challenge. And, here we are at day 29. 29. Oh my goodness, 29. Well, still, I'm doing good. Now, I was listening to someone, a doctor. Gosh, what is her name? Can't remember this doctor's name. I should have wrote it down, and I promise to get better. I told you when I finish this and decide how I'm going to continue, that I plan on making a few changes to my videos. And one of the things I'm going to do is pay attention more, write down more information so I can share it with you, and I'll also put it down in the description so you can go look at those links and see what people are saying or what the study was about and how it was done. Anyway, this woman was saying that as far as the water goes, you can get too much water, and that your body knows how much water it needs. If you just drink. I mean, if you're thirsty, drink. If you're not thirsty, don't drink. Do not drink with your meal. Drink before your meal or drink after your meal. And I think we've been told that for years, but she was saying to drink before your meal and drink after your meal. So I'm not going to feel so bad about how much water I drink. I am, as I told you before, I've got this big old jug. It's a half a gallon. I don't like drinking out of it. That's a problem. I would rather drink out of a glass or a bottle or a regular straw. Let me show you the straw on this, if I can open it. It's hard for me to open. It's not hard to open. It's just hard for me to open. See that straw? It's a wide, flexible straw. I just feel like I don't know, it's uncomfortable. To me. Uncomfortable to me. It's just not my favorite. I find myself drinking more water. And I know they're both plastic, so what difference does it make? But I find myself drinking more water if I use one of these bottles. And we have a water filter, and I just refill it. Clean the bottle out, and I refill it. So anyway, what I was saying is, she was saying, drink what your body needs. I remember my mother telling me when I was a child. My dad had all kinds of jobs, and when I was little bitty, I think I was 2-3 years old, maybe 2, maybe even younger, because I've seen pictures, so it may be between 1 and 2 years old. And we lived on top of a mountain, and my dad and my grandfather and a couple of my uncles, they were loggers, and we lived in either camping trailers or tents up in the woods, and we would have fire pits, and when there wasn't a fire, I would eat the charcoal. Well, my mother got worried about me because I was eating so much charcoal, so she took me to the doctor. And back then, the doctor said, don't worry about it. She's eating it because it's something her body needs. I don't know if that was true or not, but sometimes I kind of wonder, I believe in God, and I believe God tells us what we need, or not tells us, but He made us these bodies. And I do believe sometimes our body knows more than we do. That is for sure about what our body needs. So anyway, when she says, drink when you're thirsty and don't drink when you're not. Okay. I'm not going to feel guilty about not drinking enough water. I'm going to drink. I will continue to try to drink one of these a day, because I do believe we do need to be get enough water. We don't want to be dehydrated. We need hydrated. And also it helps your skin. And that's a big concern of mine. I have seen people who have lost a lot of weight, who have been large. I mean, really large. If you just need to lose 30 pounds, I'm sorry, you're not going to have to worry near as much about loose skin. But if you need to lose 100 pounds, like I feel I do, there's going to be loose skin. And I do not want it. So I want to minimize it. And I have been overweight for years. So I know that is something I'm going to struggle with. The only thing that I have heard anyone say that it for sure helps with is a water fast for 40 days. I don't know. Long water fast. And I'm definitely not where I want to do that at this time. I will do a 48-hour fast. I don't know if I'll do much more than that. I don't know. We will see. I'm a spur of the moment type of person. I could change my mind tomorrow. I could change my mind in 5 minutes or less even. But at this time, I do not plan on an extended water fast. I don't know if I could do it. I say I don't know if I could do it. I did that 48-hour fast, and I think I could have went longer. But I think it depends on how you prepare, but if you get enough fats in, you don't get hungry in that certain length of time. But then I would think that would finally wear off, and you would get hungry. So I don't know how they do 40 days, except I also know, or I have heard, that if you're starving, you kind of get to where you don't get hungry as much. Same thing with water. If you go without water for so long, you think you don't need it. But you do. You have to make yourself drink. So there's so much. The body is amazing. It is just amazing. And that's the thing with a lot of the doctors, in my opinion, is they find out new stuff all the time. I won't go down that rabbit hole again. Sorry. I do get sidetracked so easy. The carnivore diet. I find it more simple than the keto diet. More restrictive, yes. But you're not allowed sugar on keto. Some keto, they allow some different artificial sweeteners. On the carnivore, they do not. And then if you're going strict carnivore, yeah, it's just water and meat. And then there's the beef, what is it? Beef, bacon, butter, and eggs. I haven't tried that specifically. Actually, I have been eating more beef for a while. And like I think I told you yesterday that I was ready for some fish, and that I was going to have that beef last night. Well, we weren't home, and I went ahead and ate beef. I ate the hamburger meat just because of the options on the menu, to be honest. I considered the salmon, and I could have got it without the rice, but I don't know why I just decided to go with the hamburger meat, and I was very, very, very happy, very happy. If you go to Cheddar's, like I said, I got two, I don't know if I told you, but I did. I got 2 hamburger patties with cheese and bacon, and it was wonderful. It was wonderful. Now, I did not add butter to it this time. It's been hard for me to add butter back since the nauseousness I got day before yesterday. I will add it again today. But I was okay last night. I was fine. But I still believe I need to get back on the butter. I know what I was going to tell you. I told you that I didn't go back to the doctor for any blood work until June or July Well, that was wrong. I found my reminders about when my doctor's appointments are, and I will have, I think, I'm not sure, but I think I will have blood work in April. And so I'm looking forward to seeing what the blood work looks like. I'm assuming that the cholesterol will go up, but I'm thinking, is it triglycerides that will go down? Something will go down. I will have to write that down, that Dr. Berry was, oh, it wasn't Dr. Berry. I don't know who it was. I'll have to find it. There was a couple that were doing the, I think they did a 30-day carnivore challenge. It might have been a 60-day. And they did blood work throughout to see where it stood. And I think it was them talking about what the high cholesterol meant and what the low cholesterol, the triglycerides. It could have been Dr. Berry. I will have to find out what that was. And one has to be in a certain range, and said that the cholesterol is misleading. And so I have got to get the link down there to find out what it was, because I don't want to say anything is specifically this way or that way without something to back it up. What else do I have to tell you? Boy, I've been rambling again. I don't ever expect these videos to be too short, I guess. I told you about the doctor. I told you about pretty much about my meal and eating. I'm not hungry yet, and it is, once again, it's 8:30 in the morning. I'm not hurting. I am not hurting, except I do have a headache. I don't know why I have a headache. I don't know if it's not drinking enough water still, or I've even taken some Tylenol and I still have a headache. Could be the steroids. I don't know. I just don't know. I slept well. You guys, I have been sleeping so much better since on the carnivore challenge. I don't sleep well. I mean, just don't. I mean, I'm lucky to get probably 3-4 hours of sleep a night. Now, I can sleep better in the morning for some reason, but during the night, oh my gosh. Well, and actually even in the morning, I was tossing and turning from hurting and just not being able to sleep. And now I am sleeping better. So that's an improvement. I really do think this carnivore way of eating is very beneficial for me. Take it for what it's worth. Like I said before, one of the reasons I'm doing this, okay, I'm doing this video to keep myself accountable to you and to me, and also to have a video diary that I can look back on and see if I can see a difference. I guess I could stand up, and I should have done that to start with, see what I look like. But you've seen videos of me even recently of what I look like and how big I am from top to bottom. I am a very large woman. I know there's larger than me, but there's also smaller than me. I'm not where I want to be, but also I want to be healthy, and that's one of the main reasons I'm doing this. And thank you, Zelda. That was very sweet. I don't know why I went into that with about my daughter yesterday on that video. That was a very, very hard time. A very, very hard time. I'll start crying. No parent should outlive their children. Oh, that is rough. You know, sometimes I can talk about her and not have any problems. And then other times it just the tears flow. You never you never stop missing your babies. Or your kids. Your mothers, your fathers, your aunts and uncles, sisters, brothers. Ah, this is also, let me see, this is March 2nd. I lost my father June 20th. No, July 20th. 1996. I lost my mother February the 27th, 2001. I lost my sister, or my brother. This is the anniversary, and it's been a long time. But it was March the 2nd, 2022. I'm trying to make sure I'm saying these right. I know I said it wrong. My mother was 2001. Gosh, I'm trying to make... Yeah, that's right. 2001. And I lost my brother, to March the 2nd, 2002. Yes, that's right. Then I lost my sister March 3rd, 2002, just a day apart. And then I lost my daughter on March the 6th of 2012. So this time of year is really hard. I mean, I also lost an aunt on March the 1st. I lost my mother-in-law on March the 18th. So the first of the year is really rough around here, if you stop and think about it and all that. But I try normally. I don't dwell on it so I get depressed or anything like that, because I know that if you dwell on things that you can get depressed. Which, by the way, speaking of depression, the carnivore diet helps with that too. Who knew? Is carnivore diet the miracle cure? No. But it sure does help up with a lot of things. But anyway, thank you, Zelda, for your concern, and I appreciate it. Life goes on. God knows the number of hairs on our head. He knows the day we're going to be born. He knows the day we're going to leave this earth. So it is the way it is, and we just go on. We just go on and enjoy life the way we should. That's what everybody that has gone on before us would want for us. They want us to go on and not worry about them and to be happy. At least that's what I think. I don't want everyone being, sure they're going to mourn, but I don't want them to be in a continual depression. I believe my son-in-law. Yeah. I believe he was, after losing our daughter, which that's another long story in itself, because he had two daughters that needed him, and he couldn't deal with it very well. He didn't deal with it very well, and so they suffered the loss of two parents, basically, even though he was still here. And now he's gone. Oh well. This has been a long video about several things. Who was it? You, Zelda, or was it you, Jan, that told me it's my video? I can talk about what I want. I don't know if y'all want to know that much about me or not, but that's just kind of a little bit of what has gone on in my life. I know that kind of thing goes on in a lot of people's lives. But I am working on getting better with my health. I am. I have noticed a few clothes being a little looser, but not much. I have decided if I only lose 10 pounds, which I had already lost, as you know. Hope I haven't gained it back. I don't see how I could have. But if all I do is lose that 10 pounds and lose 10 a month, that would be great. My goodness, how many months have I gained 10 pounds a month? Well, probably not in a while. I've gotten to this size and kind of stayed here. But if I just do 10 a month, that would be awesome. I'd reach that 100 pounds eventually, right? And I may not go 100 pounds. I may stop at 60. I don't know, and I just don't know. Well, guys, I am going on too long about too many different things, and I want to be more organized in my videos. If it means I have to write it down, I won't go by a script. That is not me. I will not be doing that, but I should at least have some bullet points of what to cover, and not go off on these tangents unless you ask for me to continue the way I am. I want to do what you want, but I also want to do what I want. And I don't know that this particular part of this channel will grow. It doesn't look like it. I got tickled. I got real tickled. On day 7 of this carnivore challenge, I've had over 900, I don't remember, might be 1,000 now, but 900 views just on that one day. And all the other days are like 15 views maybe. So I just think it's hilarious. I just think it, I go up to 40 and then back down to 15 or maybe 3, who knows. But this part of this channel was more of a thing for me. But then I also thought I could not find anyone giving me their day-to-day challenge if they were over 60. Yes, you can find 40s and 50s, but I hadn't found day-to-day over 60. And that is something that I want. So now I'm doing it for somebody else out there that might want it. I may have to change the name of the playlist or the challenge. Well, in fact, I will change it after the 30 days is over, because it won't be a 30-day challenge. And it may not be pure carnivore. So we shall see. Just a couple of days more and we'll know. So come back and see me. Do like, do subscribe. But comment. It helps a lot. The comments and the liking and subscribing help a lot with the channel. But the comments help me a lot know what you're thinking. And share with me your experience if you've done the carnivore. If you haven't done the carnivore, just let me know your experiences, and we'll talk about it. Come back and see me. Bye.